Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the wild news about DeAndre Hopkins being traded to the Kansas City Chiefs. Can you believe they got him for just a fifth-round pick that could become a fourth-rounder based on his playing time and whether the Chiefs make it to the Super Bowl? We're talking about a guy who had over 1,000 receiving yards last season. Hopkins is known for his incredible hands and route-running skills. It's almost like he's a more affordable version of Cooper Kupp. Before landing Hopkins, the Chiefs actually tried to trade for Kupp, but it just didn't work out. So instead, they brought in the reliable veteran who's in the last year of his contract. Back in 2023, after the Chiefs won the Super Bowl against the Eagles, Hopkins tweeted about how special Patrick Mahomes is. I'll put that tweet up on the screen for you. I'm excited to see how this plays out because just last week, Mahomes mentioned that he feels confident in the Chiefs' receivers. But with Juju Smith-Schuster injured, things were looking a bit shaky. The team was relying on guys like Sky Moore, Xavier Worthy, and Justin Watson, and that just wasn't cutting it. That's why Mahomes was depending heavily on Travis Kelce. While Kelce is amazing, they really need some wideouts who can catch the ball and run routes, especially in such a competitive AFC, with teams like the Ravens and Bills. To ensure they make it to their third consecutive Super Bowl, addressing their biggest weakness was crucial. Hopkins, a 12-year veteran, is a great addition. He has 79 career touchdown catches, which will definitely help the Chiefs in the red zone. He gives Mahomes a deep threat and someone experienced who can make plays after the catch. With Hopkins on the roster, he'll also help open up opportunities for Xavier Worthy to make bigger plays. Before this trade, the Chiefs spoke to the Rams about Kupp, but ended up sending a conditional fourth-round pick to the Titans for Hopkins instead. According to reports, the Chiefs focused on Hopkins to avoid giving up a higher draft pick and needed help with a chunk of his salary, which the Titans agreed to cover. It's actually surprising to see the Chiefs go for a cheaper option with draft capital, considering they have some solid picks available. I'm okay with this strategy because draft picks are super important. Just look at Kingsley Samaya, a second-round pick, and Xavier Worthy, who was a first-round pick. The Chiefs are excellent at developing talent, so even if they choose a lower-cost option, it could pay off in the long run. The Chiefs have built a strong team mostly through the draft, with many players coming up through their system. On defense, almost all their starters were homegrown talent, which is impressive. Credit goes to Brett Veach and Steve Spagnuolo for their hard work. Right now, the Chiefs are sitting at 6-0 for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' 8-year career. However, they're dealing with injuries to key players like Marquez Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, who's out for Sunday's game against the Raiders. This means Mahomes will have to rely on Xavier Worthy, Justin Watson, and Sky Moore, who together have just 343 yards and 2 touchdowns so far. Despite some struggles, including Mahomes' 6 touchdowns and leading the league with 8 interceptions, there's still a lot of potential with this team. The good news is that Smith-Schuster hasn't been placed on IR yet, so there's hope he could return soon. Now, let's talk about whether relying on Travis Kelce and Noah Gray is enough to win a Super Bowl. Honestly, it's a tough call. Xavier Worthy only managed 3 catches for 19 yards in that last game against the Niners, and that's just not going to cut it. The Chiefs won that game thanks to their elite defense and some heroic plays from Patrick Mahomes in the second half. Looking ahead at the Chiefs' schedule, they've got the Las Vegas Raiders next, and I expect them to win that one comfortably, maybe even by 20 points. Then they face the Buccaneers, who are missing key players like Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, making that matchup a bit easier. But we can't forget about the Denver Broncos. That divisional game will be tough. Denver has one of the best defenses in the league right now. The schedule also includes some other challenging games against teams like Buffalo, Pittsburgh, and another match against Denver. While going 17-0 seems unlikely, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up 14-3 or 15-2. Right now, there isn't any team in the AFC that matches the Chiefs' level. As for the NFC, I think the game against Tampa Bay won't be as close, especially at Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs realized they didn't necessarily need to grab another wide receiver to keep winning. But why take the risk? With the picks and salary cap space they have, there were several players available, like DeAndre Hopkins and others on short contracts, who could really help this team. It's all about relieving some pressure off Patrick Mahomes. That means running the ball effectively and having receivers who can make plays, which opens up the whole offense. When teams get star receivers, they often talk about how it creates opportunities for others. Just look at what it can do for a rookie like Xavier Worthy when Juju Smith-Schuster returns. The tight ends will benefit too, and it's going to make the offense even stronger. Honestly, I'm really excited about this trade. I've wanted the Chiefs to bring in a veteran player, especially since it seemed like they were hesitant to go after someone in their 30s. But they ended up getting DeAndre Hopkins, who is 32 and has dealt with some injuries lately. It's a low-risk, high-reward situation, and I know that sounds cliche, but that's exactly what the Chiefs are aiming for. That's it for now. If you want to catch more of my takes, check me out over at Daily Chiefs. Have a great day, everyone. Peace. Oh, and before we wrap up, there is some breaking news. The Kansas City Chiefs are finalizing a trade to bring DeAndre Hopkins on board. Sources say the Titans will receive a conditional fourth-round pick in exchange. This move comes after the Chiefs dealt with injuries, losing players like Marquez Hollywood and Brown and Rice, who is out for the season.